Hey everyone, just a short video today. I've got an old Sherwood AI-1110 stereo amplifier here with a pretty simple problem, and that is that there's no output from the right channel at the speaker terminal. So hopefully it's an easy fix. We'll just spend some time tracing the audio signal through to the output and see where the issue is. So I haven't been able to find the exact service manual, but this one's pretty close, I guess. Looks a bit different, but part number is kind of similar. But what I like about this service manual is it's got a very nice block diagram. So I think this is a very similar build to the one I'm looking at here. So that it's a very simple amp. The inputs are simply mechanically switched through the switches into a buffer. There's a button on there which is sort of a direct button which bypasses things like your tone control and bass control. There's the volume preamp, so there's your main volume. And then that just works its way through to the main amplifier and then out to the speakers, in this case through some relays. I don't think mine has relays in it. It seems to have some fuses for the speakers, so we'll check that out. So yeah, we can start at the input and we'll just trace it through and see where the signal stops. So I've got the speakers unplugged, but I've got an audio source on there coming through. So I'll just check some of the obvious things. I think these seem to be the rails, so that's minus 45 and 45, so that looks good. Let's see if there's any DC offset on the main amplifier stage. And it's all in the millivolts, so that looks alright. Without the schematic and the layout, it looks like the audio signals come in here. That looks like a phono preamp. Comes in here to the switch. From the switch, it looks like it might head over to this connector, which is the volume, so it must come in and then back out. And then it must somehow go through this front panel with the direct button. And then back into the board towards the main amp. And so I've sort of concluded that this audio cable running down to the amp from the front panel must be the audio signal after the selection is made and after the direct button is pressed. So I think that's probably a good point to check. And so in the middle there it looks like it's common, and you've got left and right on the outside. So I'm just going to probe there and turn the volume up and down, looking on the oscilloscope. And there's audio on both of those channels, it looks like. Which is good, so that would indicate that all the input circuitry, all the switching and the volume control looks okay. The buffer and the preamp must be maybe somewhere in the main amp, although that looked alright before. I might just look at, so these I believe are the speaker fuses. Let's have a look. Yeah, so if I look on the oscilloscope, you can see there's audio on both of those channels and goes up and down with the with the volume knob. So beyond that point, it must make its way out to this connector where the speaker terminals are, over here. But to get there, it's hanging off that black wire. Which comes through here. So I'm just going to probe those 4 wires that head up to the back panel. And it looks like they've all got audio on them, so it looks like perhaps it gets the ground from that point, and that must be left, right, and surround left and right, I guess. But the strange thing is there's a signal on each of them. So I'll hook up some speakers again. We'll see what's going on. So I found that audio was actually coming out of all the channels there. However, it seemed like there was something going on with the volume knob. It would at some point make a bad connection, and the channel would just drop out completely. So I've sort of applied some pressure and sort of cleaned the contacts, I guess, but it must just be this guy here. Bad contact resistance, or maybe some dirt within there. Perhaps it's sort of, I've cleared it up just by actioning it a few times. But it could just be that it's worn out, so I'll take some measurements off that with the multimeter. So I can only access one channel, so one side of the pot easily with my multimeter, but it's a 100k pot. But there's definitely some erratic sort of behaviour going on there. It's 16k, 17k. If I give it a jiggle, you get different values too, so yeah, that's absolutely terrible. There's something up with that. So I might just source a new pot and try to get one that's similar, and I'll drop it in. Now I did actually just quickly try some contact spray in there to see if that would help. It seemed to help a little bit, but that channel was still cutting out, so yeah, let's just replace it. Now the replacement part I sourced is not completely identical. The shaft length is a bit long, so I'll have to trim that back later, and it's splined, so I might just have to modify the knob when we put it back together, but I think we'll solder it in and see how it performs. Now I'm just going to desolder it with a desoldering station. If you haven't got one of those, then just some solder braid or any other method will do the trick. Okay, so that's it. Seems to be up and running alright again. Both left and right channel. So yeah, we'll leave it there. I'll trim that back and put the dial back on and send it back to its original owner. So thanks for watching. Hope there was something in there that might have been useful. And yeah, we'll catch you next time.